Hey guys, so this is gonna be like a test, asks me anything video, because I've never done this before and obviously the location isn't ideal, so I gotta come up with a better one. But since it's been forever since I've had a video, and I figured today I could use this as a practice run. So I wrote down all the questions people asked. Shout out to my friend who came up with 5 questions all at the same time. Thank you. Because I was afraid I wasn't going to have any or only have 3. So the first one is, who is your favorite horse and why? Obviously, I'm going to have to go with Sunshine. Although our last lesson together wasn't amazing. Although part of it's my fault, but she's definitely my favorite. She's sassy, but reasonable most of the time. And even when she's not reasonable, it's fine because I'm unreasonable too sometimes. So we're a lot alike. My instructor says that if I was a horse, I would be Sunny. How do you create / brainstorm topics for your blog? I mean, honestly, like a lot of the time it just comes to me. I just wrote one recently that I actually got the idea for while I was talking to my friend. So sometimes it's things I'll say in conversations that I'll like, that was really good. Let me think on that more. Have I been looking down a lot? 'Cause that's the bad habit. That's the other reason I need practice, is because I'm not good at it. But yeah, as for brainstorming, things pop into my head sometimes, and sometimes they're good. And so when they're good, I write about them. But speaking of not being good at this, I'm gonna go ahead and skip to one of the last questions. When will we start getting more Instagram Reels and YouTube content? When I get good at it, and when more people start watching it, because it's actually kind of, I'm not good at making videos. I'm not good at social media at all. There's a lot of things I'm not good at, and I feel like my YouTube videos don't get a ton of views. Neither does my Instagram account, so I feel like I'm not inspired to put the effort in. Also, I'm not an interesting person, but I was talking with my friend, I got a few ideas of some stuff I can do for videos in the future. So leave a comment or like if you guys like this and want to see it. Or even if you hate this but you still want to see something better, like you can comment that too. This is a no judgment zone. All-time favorite TV show. I think probably, I'm torn. So I just wrote a post about Alchemy of the Souls, and it was really, 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 really good as far as K-dramas go. But I think one of my all-time favorite TV shows, Tower Prep. It was on Cartoon Network back probably in 2011 or something. It was amazing. Like, it was a school mystery type of thing, but it had a lot of humor in it, so it was funny. It was so good. And then it didn't get renewed for season 2, and I could tell you why, but I'm not for sure if that's the actual reason. But every once in a while, like every few years, I'll just Google it to see if there's anything. And so finally I found something the other day about, someone asked the director if it would have continued, how it would have gone. I heard what the director said, how he was planning on it going, and it was amazing. I really hope, I don't even care if you have to get a whole different cast. Please, 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 please. I'm begging you, please make a season 2. Or just redo season 1 so you can have the same characters for season 2. I don't care. I'll watch it either way. It was the best. I'm afraid to watch it again though, because now I've forgotten a lot of it. So I'm not as mad because I don't have as many questions because I can't remember what I didn't know. I think if you have YouTube Premium, you can watch it on YouTube. I think that's where it was. But I mean, you probably don't want to watch it because, no, watch it and then try not to get too mad about it, and then like mass email someone so I can have a season 2, please. That's your mission. Oh, favorite K-drama and why? So I just mentioned the Alchemy of Soul. I liked a lot of the quotes in it and just the storyline. It was a bit different than most K-dramas, which is really hard to find. And like, I love shows that spread. Okay, speaking of shows that spread, favorite K-drama. Oh, it's not a Korean drama, it's a Chinese drama. It's called Mountains and Ocean. That TV show took me on a roller coaster, and every time I thought I knew what was happening, they just like slap you in the face and like, think again. And it was so good. Because like, I've watched so many Korean dramas and Chinese dramas. There's only so many plots that you can have before you have to start recycling them. And so I kind of like, most K-dramas I like, okay, I know where this is going. It's not really fun because you're not really shocked, but it's a good story still. This one, there were a few times I had to pause the show just so I could like collect myself, because it's gonna take you for a roller coaster in the best way possible, and I highly recommend it. I don't think it's that many episodes, but man, it's a good time. It's a good time. I highly recommend that. As for Korean dramas, Rain or Shine, that's on Netflix. That was pretty good. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of good K-dramas. Morim School, I think that's only on Viki. That, I really enjoyed that. It reminded me a lot of Tower Prep. Just the gist and setting of it and everything. I've seen so many. That's really hard to think, but there's a lot of good ones. Hwayugi was another one that had a ton of episodes, but it was actually really good. I actually prefer ones that have less episodes, because I know that when there's less episodes, you kind of gotta keep things moving in the story. You can't like just linger on certain details and stuff. There's so many good K-dramas. Just pick one and watch one. I'll try and add some recommendations below. Favorite restaurant? Probably Red Lobster, only because it's really expensive and I can't afford to go there a lot, so when I do, it's like a special thing. And there's this Mexican restaurant I like called Tlaquepaque. Their cheese dip is divine. So when I first came to K-pop and how I discovered it, so I was watching America's Next Top Model. I don't watch America's Next Top Model. I don't know why I was watching America's Next Top Model. It was the only season of America's Next Top Model that I watched. I don't know, I might have watched a few others. I forget how the show works, but then like the finalists get to go to like some location or whatever, special place. And for this one, they went to Seoul, South Korea, and they met up with this boy group called B2B. They're an older group, but like they have a really big fan base. They're pretty popular. And so I was sitting there watching it and I was like, wow, they're really attractive. And the one actually spoke English. And so I was like, man, this is me. And I heard the song, and the song was kind of catchy. It was, like, I know the song, I don't remember the title. And so I was like, man, I check this out. And so that was kind of how I first got into it. The other question is, the first group I listened to was actually not B2B. I was super into Big Bang for a while. Big Bang was kind of my intro group that got me like really into K-pop in general. And then I got really hooked on Vixx. Okay, no. Shortly after I discovered K-pop, there's a song called Get Down by Boys Republic. And I listened to that song so many times. I didn't like any of their other songs. They didn't last long. But I love that song, and I remember before I was hospitalized for depression, I had just started getting into K-pop. And so I remember while I was in the hospital, I would keep trying to think of that song, but near the end of the day, I couldn't remember it anymore. So on the way home from the hospital after I got discharged or whatever it's called, and my mom picked me up, the very first song I listened to was Get Down once I was in the car again. So I had Big Bang, Vixx. My cousin got me really into BTS for a short while, and I still enjoy them, but who was after Vixx? I think that was Snooper. And then there was a brief period where I was really into SF9. Then I think what happened, I was trying to find a live performance of Snooper because they were on hiatus shortly after I found them. And I wanted to see one of their music show performances, and so I was watching is it Inkigayo that's on Viki? Trying to find the episode that had one of their performances of Tulips. They were on an episode of Weekly Idol with Vixx, and I heard their song and I was like, they're pretty good. And then I listened to some of their stuff, really liked them. And then shortly after that is when I found JBJ95. The first group I ever got a light stick for was them. And honestly, I cannot remember how I got into ONEUS. I think it was Valkyrie that I saw first. And like, I couldn't get enough of it. I couldn't get it out of my head. And then I listened to a few of their other songs like Lit, To Be or Not To Be, Come Back Home, like title tracks and stuff. And then after a while I started getting some of their B-sides. Like Now was one of the first B-sides I liked. Crazy and Crazy, Hero, like a lot of different B-sides I liked. And then when they came out with No Diggity, their Devil album, that was what sealed the deal, because that was when I got into like really into K-pop, where you get like the voting, the streaming fandoms. Like actually that was the first fandom I ever joined and I loved it. We used to be so amazing. Like 2 Moons used to be the best fandom ever. And that's a topic for another day now. So yeah, and so like I still get into voting and streaming, not as much as I used to, because of, if you've been reading my blog, you know everything that happened with Raven. And so like it's, at first I tried to do everything I could to stop it from happening, but it didn't work. And then when we found out he left, I was like, well, I mean, we have to support the others. And then the whole fandom just got so negative and stuff. So 3 or 4 really, really, really bad months in K-pop in general, because that's the only fandom I was really part of. Yeah, so that was rough. And so now I don't vote and stream as much as I do before. Maybe I will when the next album comes out, I don't know. But now my main 3 are JBJ95, which are on hiatus. The Rose, which just came off of hiatus, released a new album called Heal, and it is so good. I love the songs. There was one blog post where I wrote all about the album and the songs and how great it was, and so you gotta check it out if you haven't. And then that's basically where I'm at now. And ONEUS, of course, can't forget ONEUS. And the last question, where do I see LIBD designs in a couple of years? I have no idea. I don't even know where I see my blog in a couple of years. Like, successful. At least a little bit. Like, for LIBD designs, I at least want to break even. After that, like, I don't care, even if I only make enough to cover my blog expenses. Like, I just want to be successful a little bit. Like, I don't even need my own store, any of that. I just want to be good at it. Which is a lot like blogging. I just want to be good at this, and I feel like I really have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm one of those people who refuses to like read instructions. When I had video games, I would just like fail 80,000 different ways until I figured out how to do the game. I hate reading instructions. When I started blogging, I didn't read any other blogs, even though everybody said that's what you should do, but I don't like reading, which I know is weird. I'm honestly just trying to figure it out, and I guess I'm just gonna keep failing until I figure it out. So hopefully the failing is almost over and the figuring out is about to begin. That would be great. But yeah, man, I kept it under 20 minutes too. This was awesome. So if you have any other questions for me, you can just put them in the comments. I don't know when I'll do another video like this. I'll probably post on my social media accounts like I did this past time, even though no one except my friends responded, which is weird. I wasn't expecting to get any questions, because the only people who really watch my blog or read my blog or watch my video are my friends, and they can literally ask me these things anytime they want. So I appreciate that they came up with some things for me to ask for my video. Try and forget this, and then maybe you can ask me the same questions next time if I don't get any. But thank you for listening to this video today. I hope I wasn't too awkward and horrible. I'm just gonna pretend that I knew exactly what I was doing. Unless it's terrible, then I intentionally did it horribly. So, but thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.